The internet is a wonderful thing. It allowed humanity to share knowledge, communicate instantly, and produces endless streams of entertainment. It also revealed how dumb people are, by giving everyone an easy way to express their thoughts to a global audience. You can be as smart as a brick and still make your fantastic, groundbreaking opinions heard, and some unfortunate people will read them and maybe even respond. In real life, you can at least somewhat filter people out. Like if you go fishing with your uncle and he says, "Yeah, but are we really supposed to believe that 6 million then you can cross him out of your Thanksgiving invitees list. But on the internet, as soon as you dare to scroll down to any comment section on any website, you risk seeing things that will make you want to lobotomize yourself. But it gets worse. Some of those idiots on the internet managed to convince other idiots to believe some unsubstantiated bullshit and even formed communities to discuss it. I'm going to go over some of this bullshit, also called conspiracy theories, that are going around and just have a good laugh or anger. Some of them are very old, some are very new and relevant. So let's start with my favorite, the flat earth. So there's a group of people that believe that science was lying to people for centuries about the shape of the earth and it's actually flat, not round. This one just baffles me on so many levels. With most conspiracy theories, at least there is some kind of somewhat reasonable explanation as to why the conspiracy exists. Like, oh, the Pope is a hologram because they don't want us to know that the real one died. It's not a good reason, but it's something. But when it comes to the flat earth theory, there's absolutely no practical reason why anyone would lie about the shape of earth. If it was really flat, why would anyone bother to hide it? What's the point? The fact that earth was round was actually discussed in the 6th century BC in ancient Greece. Do you think Pythagoras was like, oh, it's definitely flat, but I'll tell them it's round just to see their reaction? Oh my god, it's gonna be so funny. And then for hundreds of generations, all other scientists decided to keep the prank going. Maybe there will be a huge reveal at the end of this. In the year 3000, someone will go, hey guys, it was flat all this time, you got pranked, look bro, there's a camera, it was just a prank, you're in a YouTube video, epic prank compilation, pranking the whole world about the shape of the earth prank. I'm not going to bother discussing why the theory itself is ridiculous on a scientific level because, like, come on, I don't need to explain this to you. So in this next part I had to censor some words because YouTube removed the original video for spreading misinformation, and I'm doing the exact opposite of that. I'm trying to debunk misinformation. I appealed the strike, but they kept it anyway. Whatever, right? Theory number 2. Are bad. This one is older than you thought. It was first brought up in the early 1990s. It claims that the MMR vaccine, the vaccine against measles, mumps and rubella, can cause autism in children. This accusation had some pretty serious consequences. The vaccine manufacturers got sued all over the world, and in many countries a lot of people stopped vaccinating their children, leading to thousands of deaths. The original paper that claimed that there's a connection between vaccines and autism was retracted in 2010. So it was pretty much disproved and all is good now, right? Wrong! Your mom still posts on Facebook about how vaccines contain harmful chemicals. And yes, of course, contain chemicals, but it takes about 3 seconds in Google to find out that the amounts are so low that it doesn't matter. This theory is pretty dangerous because it's not just some basement dwellers shouting, oh, 9/11 was an inside job, they took our freedoms. No, some people actually believe this shit and they refuse to vaccinate their children, which can cause some minor side effects like, death. All vaccines are rigorously tested and have to meet certain standards to become available for public use. They don't just casually add poison in there to weaken your children, Karen. Go vaccinate them so they don't die. Jesus Christ. You know what else they don't add to tracking chips? Yeah, apparently there's a theory that Bill Gates, yes, the founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, wants to put chips in people through virus vaccines. Alright, first of all, chips are not that small. They are not invisible. You could not hide them in a 1mm syringe without the patient noticing. Oh, but what if they have super secret new chips that have the size of an atom? They don't. Secondly, I'll tell you a secret, because my uncle works at Microsoft, so I know their secrets. Microsoft and a few other companies already secretly placed a tracking device on you. They used 5G waves to brainwash you into ignoring it. You think it's just a regular object, not suspicious at all, but it tracks your location, your conversations, and your internet activity. I believe the internal code name for this device is P-Hone. From what I could find, this theory comes mostly from misunderstanding of what's actually going on. See, there is a grain of truth in this. The Gates Foundation actually funded research surrounding a way to store vaccination history through invisible ink. The idea is that whenever you in a person, you also inject a dye that's not visible to the naked eye under their skin. It could then be read with special equipment, so any doctor could immediately identify a patient's vaccination history, even if they don't have access to their full medical history. This is a bit different from a life tracking chip, don't you think? I also found some misquotes that Bill never actually said. Apparently he said that the coronavirus vaccine will kill 700,000 people, while in reality he was saying that even one side effect per 10,000 is not acceptable because it means that 700,000 people will suffer from side effects globally. There's also a TED talk where he said that the climate issues would be mitigated if the population went down, and some people chose to interpret this as he wants to kill billions of people. That's quite a leap to conclusions. I know he isn't a saint, but he's not genocidal either. And the last tier for today is Illuminati. Yeah, I know, low-hanging fruit. I was going to do 5G instead, but I didn't find it as interesting. This theory claims that there is a secret international society of people who control the world and seek to establish a global government. This isn't even that stupid because Illuminati was a real group in the 18th century. It doesn't sound that far-fetched. I could imagine a group of people secretly pooling resources to control the rest of the world, but the popular theories claim that among the Illuminati are Barack Obama, George Bush, Warren Buffett. Yes, so far so good, makes sense. But then Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Usain Bolt? Yeah, I'm sure the guy who runs really fast is a part of a global group that tries to control the world. Yeah, that makes sense. The evidence for these theories is always something like, oh, this person showed a triangle in one of their music videos. You know what else has a triangle in it? The Illuminati logo. Or this person showed an eye in their video. You know what else has an eye in it? Yeah, I know, it's very unlikely that it's a coincidence because triangles are exclusively used by Illuminati. Same with eyes. No one would ever just use an eye because it looks cool. I'm sorry to break this to you, but the world isn't that interesting. There is no secret group of villains that you'll have to take down in the third act after they brainwash everyone except you. The Illuminati do not exist. Stop looking into it. It looks like Google cracked down on those theories a little bit, because when I searched for vaccines harmful to find material for this video, the results were like, no, you absolute moron, vaccines are not harmful. Facebook used to be the main place for these groups, but fortunately they cracked down on it. You won't find any anti-vaccine groups there anymore. There are still flat earth groups, but they are relatively harmless. And that's it. That's all I had to say today. If you believe any of these theories, take your medications, you schizo. See you next time, fellow kids. Substantiated.